Welcome, everybody, to Glockcast, episode 10. Already the 10th episode of the Glockcast, and we only keep getting stronger. I'm riding solo today, but I have two monster guests planned for the show. Don't worry, we're going to go over it all. We're going to go over the birds. We're going to talk about the power rankings. We're going to do fantasy. We got a lot planned today. The Eagles are 6-1. Believe me, we're going to get into that. And now, with the Eagles off on Sunday, I watched some flat-out terrible football. God, I watched some bad football. And there are a lot of bad teams here in the NFL right now. I mean, it's not even funny. I've been talking about the Falcons all year. The Super Bowl hangover is real in Atlanta. I mean, they got buried in New England. Robbie's Atlanta Falcons. The Seahawks, they got to win in New York, but they had about 8 plays on the 1-yard line and couldn't get in the end zone. Jimmy Graham's 7 foot tall. I mean, come on, Seattle. The Saints, yeah, they're there. They're getting better. They're getting stronger each week, but do I really buy the Saints? I'm a little more afraid of them with Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara now that they have that running back situation figured out, but am I really worried about the Saints? I'm really not. The Panthers suck. We'll get into them in a second. The Cowboys might be the Eagles' biggest concern right now. I mean, I hate to say it, but they have some offensive firepower for sure. Zeke Elliott's not getting suspended. It's obvious. The NFL's just a disaster with that. So I guess the Cowboys are going to be the Eagles' biggest competitor in the NFC, if not the Seahawks. I mean, the Rams are coming up. They're there. I still like the Rams a little bit. I don't know if they can make a run yet. I don't think they're on the Eagles level. I don't think they're on the Seahawks-Cowboy level. But they're there. I mean, they beat the Cowboys in Dallas. The Rams are there. This guy, Dave Softy Mahler, whatever his name is, Mahler, at Softy K Jr., tweeted, the Seahawks would beat the piss out of the Eagles. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about that, dude. I got to be honest with you. You beat the 49ers 12-9 at home. I don't know who you're beating the piss out of. You haven't really beat the piss out of anyone. We'll find that out in a couple weeks. But the Seahawks right now in our power rankings are the second-ranked team in the NFC. We'll talk about that, like I said, in a little bit here. And I got to get into something. I got a notification to my phone from the Score mobile app. I'm a Score mobile app fan. I think it's the best scores app out there. I got the notification yesterday. It said, MVP race, Carson Wentz, Alex Smith, lead a weak race. And then I'm reading it, and I'm like, weak race? We got to be kidding me, dude. Weak race. So I look at it. The guy's name is Jack Brownie. I got into with him on Twitter. You can check that out at @B_McGlock. MVP rankings. Wentz Smith lead weakest rankings in years. This NFL season has been weird, and the MVP race is no exception. Out of left field candidates lead what is one of the weaker groups in recent memory. Weakest groups, huh? Let me read you Vegas odds for MVP. Let me read you these. Tom Brady plus 200. Carson Wentz plus 300. Alex Smith plus 500. Russell Wilson plus 700. Drew Brees plus 1,600. Deshaun Watson plus 1,600. Hey, what's up, bud? Did you not see the names on the list here? What universe are you living in that's a weak group? You got to be kidding me. Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time. Carson Wentz, ascending talent, getting on that Brady level. Alex Smith, dark horse. He's off the wall, but 15 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Come on, man. Russell Wilson, Super Bowl winner. Drew Brees, Super Bowl winner. These guys are, some of these are Hall of Fame quarterbacks. In what universe is this a weak race for the MVP? That really pissed me off. And the dude is a total troll because I was looking at his timeline and he must have something against Philadelphia and Carson Wentz. I don't know which one, probably Philadelphia in general. Somebody probably ripped him like I did. This is a direct shot at Wentz, that article. That's what it is, because he had multiple retweets about how Dak Prescott's better than Wentz. So the dude, Jack Brown, if you want to get on him, but just a terrible article, absolute disgrace. So, but I'm going to bring in my first guest right now. He actually got into it with Jack Brownie on Twitter as well. I'm going to bring in the Power Rankings King, Matt Hudson.
How we doing, Bri?
What's going on? All the way from Arizona. Dude, I was watching the World Series. It's like 200 degrees. What's it like in Arizona?
Dude, it's hot. They just broke a record today, 99.
My God.
And I'll tell you what, dude, that hot weather compared with Jack Brownie's article, that had me boiling inside.
Dude, that article was such trash.
Yeah, just to kind of go off of that, first of all, Tom Brady has 2,200 plus yards, 15 touchdowns, and 2 picks. So he's obviously right there with Wentz. Like you said, Alex Smith, the 15-0 touchdown ratio, he's 20 yards short of 2,000.
But, Matt, Brady's the favorite. He's the greatest quarterback of all time. Wentz is a success story this year. Russell Wilson, Drew Brees, Deshaun Watson. Are you kidding me? Even like behind them, Le'Veon Bell, Todd Gurley, Dak Prescott. All names. Who does he want to be the MVP?
Yeah.
Who does he want to be the race?
Absolutely, dude. Cut me a break. I mean, obviously the quarterbacks lead the way, but the running backs are playing great too. Even Kareem Hunt's got to be right there. He's going to win Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, I mean, even Zeke Elliott, I mean, he's going to play the rest of the season. He's even going to be in there. But it's only week 7, too. It's only through 7 games. The race is fun.
Dude, like you said, it was a major knock on Wentz. I was looking at his Twitter as well. He was retweeting Dak. It was a knock on Wentz, and it was a bad knock.
He must have an issue with Philadelphia.
Wentz has 17 touchdowns and 4 picks, so get out of here with that article.
He must have some underlying issue with Philadelphia because he tweeted back to you that says, I'll try to put Wentz a little higher than 1. No, dude, that's not the issue. The knock is the issue. You knocked Wentz from the start, and that goes out to like millions of people. Millions of people read that stupid article. The Score Mobile should be embarrassed for that article, by the way. People are reading weak MVP race. No, dude, it's not a weak MVP race, okay? So let's just get that straight.
Couldn't agree more.
But anyway, we're talking about the power rankings a little bit. You have Seattle as the number 2 team. I want to go over it a little bit with you. Who's your top 5 teams right now? Just tell the people if they haven't read.
All right, top 5, Eagles coming in at 1. We got Patriots at 2, Seahawks 3, Steelers 4, and the Chiefs at number 5.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same with you. I got Birds, Pats, Steelers, Seahawks, KC. I'm pretty much the same with you, right? The Steelers are on fire right now, dude. Talk about week-to-week league. This team is creeping up every week. They could be going to the Super Bowl this year. Am I right or am I wrong?
Absolutely. 100% right. I mean, if it was the explosive rankings, they'd be number 1. They're, without a doubt, the most explosive team in the NFL. When you have Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell on the same team, on the same side of the ball, that's a disgusting 1-2 combination that has to be a nightmare for defense.
And now they're just feeding Le'Veon Bell constantly. I thought Cincinnati might have had a shot in that game last week, but they had absolutely no chance. What teams that you just see are falling out? I want to get your thoughts on the Falcons a little bit and maybe the Vikings here and some of these middle-of-the-road NFC teams, Rams, Cowboys, and the like.
Panthers, obviously. I mean, like you said, it's a week-to-week league. You know I'm big on my man Super Cam.
Yeah, down the toilet. Did you jinx them?
You can't go into Chicago and score 3 points. I get that it's a road game, but you're coming off a loss. You can't go win that game. You kidding me?
No, it was bad. It was real bad.
They're dropping, and they're dropping fast. So They better start figuring out how to use McCaffrey a little bit better. Ron Rivera, I don't know what he's doing. Riverboat Ron.
The typical Ron Rivera. What do you think of the Rams here? They win again. They blanket Arizona. Are they for real?
They are. I wasn't believing in them early in the season, but they're for real. Goff can sling it. Obviously not as good as Wentz, but that kid can play. There's a reason he was the number 1 pick. Their coach has them playing, and they got a lot of talent on defense as well. I mean, Cooper Kupp dropped, I think it was 2 passes against Seattle. They could have beat Seattle.
Yeah, and how about that? All the experts from the 2016 NFL draft that said the quarterback shouldn't go 1 and 2 this year. This isn't a quarterback year. And look at the records. They're 11 and 3, Wentz and Goff. How about that?
I know, dude. I saw some articles. I don't even want to discuss them on this Glockcast. It was so ugly. Talking about Paxton Lynch better than Wentz. A couple names I've never even heard of better than Wentz. They were dead wrong.
And what about how about that Sion Fahy guy from ESPN? That dope. You know anything about him, or do I gotta
give me a little background?
Oh well, he's just like look him up though after this, and anybody out there look up Sion Fahy if you don't. It's like CIANFAHEY. He's like the biggest Carson Wentz hater for some reason. Like I don't understand. It must just be an underlying Philadelphia issue. Like people just hate Philly, but he's like the biggest Wentz hater. His argument was, well, Wentz didn't have a good rookie year, and he's had a pretty good sophomore year. I mean, dude. I hate to blow myself up right now, but check the Wentz report, dude. Wentz is having a beyond good year. In comparison to a Hall of Fame quarterback, maybe the best ever, Peyton Manning, his stats are far and away better to start the season, 7 games in. Of course he had a bad rookie year, dope. He came from North Dakota, and the Eagles sucked. Of course he had a bad rookie year. You idiot.
Yeah, he had no talent. First-year head coach with not much talent around him. What the hell did they want?
Yeah, but he's like the biggest. He's the notorious Carson Wentz hater. You got to check him out. You got to get a little piece of him, too, if you can, if you're not blocked by him. Most of Philadelphia's already blocked by him. So if you guys aren't, Hudson, if you're not, get on him because he deserves it.
I'm sure I'll be blocked.
Another team I'm keeping my eye on. I want to run by you. Well, the Chargers. And I guess I'll throw in the Raiders, too. Raiders, big win over the Chiefs. That division's starting to heat up a little bit.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'm still not buying into the Chargers. Obviously, they have a lot of talent at the wide receiver core. Melvin Gordon's good, and Rivers is always going to be Rivers. But I'm not buying into that team. However, that Thursday night win for Oakland has me believing in them again. I mean, they were one of the favorites to win the Super Bowl before the season started. Obviously, when Derek Carr is healthy, he is scary good, unlike his brother David.
Yeah.
Out for the Texans.
Well, Amari Cooper also came back from the dead.
On the Raiders. They got Khalil Mack. They got a good defense. Del Rio seems to know what he's doing, so I'm definitely buying stock in the Raiders.
They need to
win.
Definitely
a bubble team.
They have to win this week against Buffalo, though. They got to keep the train rolling. And Buffalo's
Absolutely.
surprising a lot of people, but I just can't see them continuing this pace, to be honest with you. Well, I was saying the Chargers because I was telling people that they should tank after their 0-3 start. But, they turned it around. They don't look too bad, but I agree with you. They're probably not going to be there in the end. All right, last one. I think the Cowboys are the Eagles' biggest competition in the NFC. Who is the Eagles' biggest competition in your eyes, Matt?
It's hard not to say Seattle, but I think Dallas is right there. I think they're going to keep winning games without Zeke getting suspended. Dak, I thought he was going to take a step back. He hasn't. He's playing really well. Beasley's a great complementary player to Dez. That O-line is still scary good, but I still don't believe in that defense.
Yeah.
Wentz is playing like Rodgers has played before. He is. And we saw what Rodgers did with minimal time left. So what is Wentz going to do to that defense? I think he'll do
them up.
Similar things. I think it'll be a dogfight both times we play them. But I think Seattle's probably the biggest competition to the Eagles. And
Fair
then
enough.
maybe Dallas.
Fair enough. Seattle, Dallas. I did see Dallas major power rankings this week. Now, listen, I'm not here to advocate for the Dallas Cowboys, believe me. I'm just calling it the way I say it. I just think that they might. I'm not really believing in Seattle, dude. I got to be honest with you. I watched them against the Giants, and yeah, they won. And Russell Wilson had a big second half, but there's something up with that team, just something off. I just don't think it's their year, which makes me feel a little bit better about the Eagles' chances. You imagine an Eagles Dallas NFC Championship game, and then an Eagles Steelers Super Bowl.
Oh, that would be phenomenal.
My gosh, and Eagles beat both of them. Wouldn't that just be? I could just go out on top. You could put me in the Atlantic Ocean after that and just let me go.
Put me there next to you.
All right, Matty. Thanks for calling in. I'll see you next week on the Power Rankings, and we'll have you call in again next week. All right, buddy?
Sounds good, brother. Go Birds.
All right, later. All right, that's Matt Hudson, and Matt calling all the way from Arizona. He's doing a hell of a job on Mouthpiece. You got to read his Power Rankings. They're the best in the business. He had some Seattle Seahawks fans tweeting at him, telling him how great his Power Rankings were, so you got to check them out. They come out every Tuesday. They came out a little later this week because of the Eagles game, so we pushed them back, but they are the best. And Matt, he's passionate, he's opinionated, he knows what he's talking about. All right, so we're going to transition into fantasy football, and fans, listen up. Join the highest-rated fantasy football app, Draft. Play in a real live snake draft, but be done in under 5 minutes. And they last for just 1 week. Drafts start every couple minutes, so you can join one right now for week 5. The best part? Play for cold, hard cash. And get this, your chances of winning are 80% better than on salary cap sites. All new players get a free entry into a real money draft when you make your first deposit. But you have to use the promo code MPST. That's right. Play a real money game for free just by using the promo code MPST. And it gets even better. Draft is so sure you'll love it that they're even offering Glockcast listeners a money-back guarantee up to $100. Just search Draft in your app store or go to draft.com and come play free right now with promo code MPST. I love the app. I did about 3 drafts already today. I'll be doing a bunch more. I'll tweet out our link to our draft, the Mouthpiece draft, today. But when we're talking fantasy football, I got to bring in fantasy football guru, the Coxman, Mr. Shane Dunfee. What's up, Shano?
Yo, what's going on?
What's going on, man? Sorry we had to get you on the phone this week. A little scheduling issues here at Connecticut School of Broadcasting, but the band will be back together next week. But thank you for joining me today. Yo, you were down at the game on Monday, huh?
Oh, it was awesome, man. Awesome. Absolutely electric atmosphere. My call, Zach Ertz again.
Yep, in the end zone.
Just being a total animal.
Awesome game to be at. Had to be rocking down there, huh?
Oh, it was great. I mean, and Carson's Carson.
Isn't he,
I
though?
don't think there's any discrepancy in whether or not he's an elite quarterback now after last week.
I was talking to Matt about this dude, Jack Brownie. He put out a story that said this is the weakest MVP race in years. I mean, come on, dude. He must have a real big problem with Philly, like I was saying earlier. But I don't know what your thoughts about that. I don't know what your thoughts about that are. If this MVP race is weak.
Everybody has it out for Philly. So I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Carson's lead right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Dawson the lead for Coach of the Year.
Absolutely. Brady actually took the Vegas odds, but that's fine. I mean, the GOAT and Wentz, it's fine. So Shane, we got to crush me for the Ty Montgomery pick, right? You're not going to let me off the hook for that.
I didn't want to say it, but I'm glad you brought it up.
Right idea.
You had the right idea.
I thought McCarthy would let him. See, what I was thinking was they would be down by a lot, and he would just have no choice but to check the ball down. And the Saints suck. I don't care what anybody says, but they weren't up as much as I thought. So Montgomery he just wasn't on the field. And Aaron Jones is like a superstar. So
yeah, I said it if you watched the match or read the matchups article.
Yeah, I did. I saw you take a shot at him.
Outsnapped him. So I just didn't know who was going to get it, and clearly it wasn't Montgomery.
No, it wasn't Montgomery. I threw something off the wall. So to go off of that, we're now banning Le'Veon Bell and Zeke Elliott from the top plays of the week segment. They are retired. We know they are top plays. No longer allowed to pick them. Is that okay with you?
Oh, that's fine. You know, every week they're going to bring it.
Yeah,
so.
They're going to be the top plays. So let me hear your top plays for this week, and then throw a couple sleepers my way that the people need to hear about.
Yeah, this week I'm really high on, and he had a pretty down week last week, but Melvin Gordon, I think, bounces back. I mean, Patriots defense kind of stumbled the Falcons' really high-powered offense, but I don't think Melvin Gordon puts up back-to-back stinkers. I think he has a really good week. Also, on the Chargers, Keenan Allen should see a ton of volume. Sleepers this week, I think this could be a really good week to get on the Joe Mixon train going against the Indianapolis Colts. He's a sneaky play, and I think he'll put up running back one numbers, to be honest with you.
I like where your head's at with that New England game. I think that's going to be a high-scoring game in general. And New England's defense, I mean, yeah, they looked good last week, but, I mean, are they all the way back? And the Chargers have been, pretty good offensively, I think.
Yeah, no, I think, I mean, look, they started out 0-4, and we were talking about, and you were all over it, tank for
that's what I said to Matt. I was talking to Matt about the tank, but now they're kind of back.
Yeah, and they're led by our boy, the freak out artist, under the helm. So I think Rivers gets it together, and listen, they're right back in the mix of things out in the AFC. So I mean, I think Rivers, especially this week against New England, I think
at the very least,
puts up some good numbers, and I really think Melvin Gordon is a guy to get all over this week.
I like him,
and as much as I hate to say it, you got to go back to the well with Ertz. I mean, the guy is a freak.
And a
He's
great
getting
matchup.
fed by Carson left and right.
I mean, Carson's got to be on the radar screen for this week, too. If I can get my hands on him in a couple drafts, I'll probably be taking. I actually made a trade. You want to hear this trade? I'm in last place in this league. I'm in 3 leagues. I'm in 7-0 in the West Virginia League. In third place in my other big league, and then in my biggest league, of course, I'm in last place. But David Johnson, no excuses either way. I traded Aaron Jones and Demaryius Thomas for Carson Wentz and or Evan Ingram.
Wow, who's the idiot that got fleeced by you?
He offered it to me. I just accepted
it. Who's his quarterback? I mean,
he has Brady.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, you got to use one of them, and I'd probably keep Brady at this point.
Yeah. But, I think we're 9th and 10th respectively. So it really didn't. It's not going to. It's not going to shake the foundation of our league by any stretch of the imagination. 9th and 10th teams.
And listen, as long as Trevor Siemian's throwing the ball, I don't want any Broncos on my lineup, on my roster, or even playing. We talked about, I know, Zeke again. I mean, I got a feeling he's going to go nuts again against Washington. They've won, I think it's 4 straight in Washington. I don't see it stopping.
That's a perfect segue right into our picks of the week because I think that's going to be a high-scoring game too. I like Cousins in that game a little bit too.
Yeah, people sleep on Kirk Cousins. I mean, the team may lose, but statistically and fantasy-wise, he puts up points all the time. He gave me like 30 points last week.
Yeah, he went. I mean, they didn't get the job done obviously in Philly, but he had 300 yards passing. So and that garbage touchdown that ruined the perfect score for Mouthpiece Prediction, 34-17. Damn it. But anyway, now I'm going to go through a 6-pack of picks with you. All right, you cool with that?
Okay.
You got time?
Yeah.
All right. So we got Dallas -2 at Washington. Where are you going?
I'm going to go Dallas. I mean, the trend is they haven't lost in Washington, and everyone's going to say, yeah, they're due. But Dak and company looked really good last week, and as long as Zeke's in the lineup, I don't see anyone slowing that offense down.
I agree with you. I said it earlier. I think Dallas is the Eagles' biggest competition in the NFC, not just the NFC East, the NFC. I'm going to go.
No question.
I'm going to go with the Cowboys as well. I just can't see it with Washington. Carolina +2 at Tampa. Tampa's lost 3 in a row. Carolina's lost 2 in a row. Something's got to give here, or do both teams just suck? But who you got?
I'm going to go with the Panthers. I mean, they got embarrassed by Chicago, and I just can't see them losing to Tampa. Tampa is so bad defensively, and Hard Knocks. I mean, I bought into the narrative of this being a real competitor this season, and
I think a lot of
they haven't
people did
anything like what they've looked like on Hard Knocks. So I'm going with the Panthers.
I'm going to go with Tampa, and no real reason why. I just think at home, and Cam Newton kind of is like a front runner. So when things are going bad, I just feel like he quits, and things are going really bad right now. I'll go with Winston. Give me Tampa. All right, Houston at Seattle. Seattle, 5.5-point favorite. Houston, Deshaun Watson. This could be a pretty interesting game. It's a tough place to play, though. Seattle, who you got?
Yeah, it is. That I was going to say, that's the biggest issue is going to be, can they survive the 12th man? And, I think DeAndre Hopkins has a tough matchup. This is a real test for Deshaun Watson. But, I'm going to take the points, man. I think maybe Seattle edges them out, but I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think. And look for Will Fuller to have a lot of action, and Deontay Foreman as well out of the backfield.
Yeah, this isn't exactly the same Seattle team of old. I'm going to go with Seattle, though. Not because I just think it is a tough place to play, rookie quarterback. But I do like what you're saying. I think it might be closer than people think, but I'm going to take Seattle. You got Houston, I'll take Seattle. Falcons -4 at the Jets.
The Falcons, Mr. Robbie Rubio's Falcons.
Yeah, Robbie McLaughlin's Atlanta Falcons.
3 weeks. They lost to the Dolphins. They lost to
the entire AFC East.
Yeah.
Bills, Dolphins, and Patriots.
This week, they put a smackdown on the Jets.
Okay.
And turn it around.
Wow. I was thinking that 4 is a little low, but I kind of see what you're going with there. Can they really lose to the entire AFC East in a row? I don't think so.
There's no way that, Julio Jones had his best game despite losing. I think they made it pretty clear that, or at least he did, that no one can cover him. So I expect a lot of usage out of him. And if they want to salvage the season, they need to put a smackdown and really get the momentum going against the Jets. And, listen, it's Josh McCown. Do I need to say anything else?
Sure, and they looked real. I was actually watching a little bit of the Dolphins-Jets game, if you can believe it. Just the bar I was at had it on. And I was like, man, the Jets are going to pull this game out. And then, of course, they took a dump.
In typical Jets fashion. I'm going to also go with the Falcons. A little low number. I wanted to see if you thought maybe that had something to do with it, but I'm going to pick the Falcons in a route. Huh? It's a little fishy, and it's almost telling you to take the Jets, but I think they get blown out.
I agree. I agree with you. It literally, this is their 4th game in a row against the AFC East, which is a really weird schedule because they haven't played a division team yet, which is just crazy to me. The Falcons haven't. But anyway, all right, 5th game, Pittsburgh -3 at Detroit, Sunday night football. Not a bad Sunday night matchup. Give it to me. Who you got?
I love this. This is a good Sunday night matchup, especially following what I thought was going to be a really exciting game, Patriots and Falcons. But I think Big Ben and company get it done. I mean, Le'Veon Bell's getting the ball like a million times a game, and no one's stopping him. And then not to mention, you got Antonio Brown and Smith-Schuster playing hide and seek with teams. So I think it's a shootout, and I think Matty Stafford and Big Ben throw for over 300 apiece.
I agree. I'm going with the Steelers. I think this will be a competitive game, but I think they'll cover the 3, and I think they'll win it in the end. So they're just hot right now. I said to Matt, how about this? The Eagles beat the Cowboys in the NFC Championship game, and then they beat the Steelers in the Super Bowl. How'd that sound to you?
The Battle of Pennsylvania. I would love nothing more than
please.
Pittsburgh to just cry.
Speaking of Pennsylvania, the 6th game, Penn State at Ohio State. -6.5 Ohio State is. Talk about a line.
Oh my God.
Who you got?
Man. I'm gonna take Penn State with the points, but I think Ohio State pulls this one out. It's like a field goal game. That line is fishy, and this is, I mean, they say last week was a real test. I told you all season long, Michigan is a bunch of frauds.
Yeah, Michigan sucks.
Ohio State's a real team, and this is the first real test, and we'll see. If State could have moved the ball a little bit, I think Ohio State can a little bit.
Ohio State's gotten it together since that Oklahoma loss. I want to take Penn State because I actually really enjoy watching this Penn State team. I love watching Barkley. He's just an absolute superstar. I can't wait to watch him on Sundays, but the line is just telling me too much. I'm going to go with Ohio State to win. We'll see if they cover, but I think Ohio State will win the game. You know, I hope it's an entertaining game.
I'm with you. I think Ohio State wins. I'm not sure if they cover. It's going to be close. It'll be an exciting game because, like you said, Saquon is just a freak athlete, and I can't wait. I would love for the Eagles to get him.
And neither of us are real Penn State guys either. Just that's how good of a game it is. 3:30 on Fox, if you can imagine. Not a night game, which I don't know why not. But all right, Shane, we'll have you in next week. Thanks for calling in. We'll look out for your matchups later in the week. All right.
All right, brother.
All right, thanks, Shane. That's Shane Dunfee, the fantasy guru, calling in. Check out his matchups later this week. He's usually right on the money. I mean, the kid knows what he's talking about when it comes to fantasy football for sure. Oh, yes. 6-1, baby, is 6-1. The Eagles are the best team in the NFL right now. Like I said in my review, you can't tell me otherwise. They are firing on all cylinders, even in a game that you think, okay, this will be the game. They step back. 5-2 is not that bad. They look like shit. Nope. Carson Wentz, Doug Peterson, they totally come back. I mean, an absolute different game from the middle of that second quarter on. And this is what happens when you have a good team. Good teams do this stuff, and it's just an awesome feeling. It's awesome to watch. The Philadelphia Eagles are the best team in the NFL. It's crazy that we're talking about that here on October 26th, but they are the best team. I didn't see it coming. I mean, I thought they would be in the playoffs. I didn't think they would be this damn good, and they are damn good. I want to get into a couple things here. I want to talk about the receivers a little bit. Alshon Jeffrey's getting a lot of flack for how he's playing. Here's his numbers: 26 catches, 354 yards, 2 touchdowns. I still believe in Alshon. I need to see a little bit more. I really do. But I still believe in him. I think he's fine. And the way this offense is going right now, Wentz is spreading the ball to everybody. I think he's fine. I think maybe even this Sunday will be that breakout game. I know I keep saying it every week. Maybe this is the breakout game for Alshon Jeffrey. Zach Ertz, what more can you say? 39 catches, 494 yards, and 5 touchdowns. And he's averaging 70.6 yards a game. He had, like Shane just said, he has another juicy matchup this week with the 49ers. I could see him getting in the end zone a couple times. I mean, that Wentz and Ertz connection, it's something else. It's like every great quarterback has a go-to receiver. You look at Manning to Harrison, Favre, Antonio Freeman, Steve Young, Jerry Rice, Montana, Jerry Rice. The only one that really didn't have that is Brady, but even Brady lately has had Gronk or he's had Edelman, and the Wentz-Ertz connection is our version of that, and it's a beautiful thing. And then let's talk about my boy Nelson Aguilar. 24 catches, 366 yards, and 5 touchdowns. And get this, Aguilar's averaging 15.25 yards a catch. Last year, we couldn't get anybody to stretch the field. I mean, Wentz is making these guys so much better. They're, like I said, they're spreading the ball around to everybody. I'm not that worried about Alshon Jeffrey right now, but that's something that really stood out to me this past week. I do want to see a little bit more of Matt Collins. That bomb, are you kidding me? That changed the whole game. I didn't see that coming either. He toasted DJ Swearinger. Like I said, I do want to see Alshon a little bit more, but I love the way this offense is maneuvering right now. There's no complaints from me. Like I said, Wentz is the MVP. A couple other things. Big V, big opportunity for him. You know, the Jason Peters injury sucks on every level. He's one of my favorite Eagles of all time. He's the leader of this team. But you know what? There is a positive out of this if Big V plays well, because then you solidify yourself. I guess they're playing him at left tackle. I would switch him to right tackle and move Johnson to left, but it looks like they're going to leave him at left, at least for now. I mean, he has a tough matchup this week. I know the 49ers suck. Believe me, they suck. But they have a pretty good defensive line for the most part. We'll see what Big V can bring. I mean, if he can play well down the stretch here, that's a big win for the Eagles, because then they won't have to go find another tackle. But I don't know. We'll see. A lot of people are down on Big V, and he really hasn't done that much to prove anybody else otherwise. He didn't play too bad in the second half, but I think they were giving him a lot of help. You can't keep giving a tackle help if you want to be a good team down the stretch. We'll see, though. This is a big week for Big V. I know the 49ers suck, but we'll see. Kendricks, another one. You got to get on the field. This is what happens when I give Michael Kendricks a compliment. He goes out with 17 tackles against Carolina. Then out of nowhere, he shows up on the injury report with a hamstring injury. Missed the king of soft tissue injuries. Get on the field, Michael. Get on the field. My God, just get on the field. He has a big opportunity. He wants more playing time. Well, guess what, bud? You got more playing time. Can you handle it? Let's do it. Come on, step up. You'll probably be released at the end of the year anyway. This is an audition for 31 other teams. It's time to step up, Michael Kendricks. This isn't a modeling shoot. It's time to step up. Can he do it? We'll see. I also got to shout out the secondary. They're playing fantastic. Who would have thought that in the beginning of the year? And now Ronald Darby should be back. I don't know if I'd put him back against the 49ers. And, I mean, if he's ready to go, he's ready to go. There's no reason to sit him if he's healthy 100%. But if he's, there's no rush right now until after the bye. Then there's a level of concern because you got Dallas. But right now, if he's not healthy, I don't need Darby out there. They're playing that good. But we'll see. If Darby's healthy, and if he's ready to go, he's ready to go. I'm not going to sit, a healthy guy. So, all right, 49ers coming to town. This is the worst team of football. I don't care about the Browns. This is the worst team of football. They are absolutely wretched. Eagles are 13-point favorites. Now I want to see how Doug Peterson has this team ready to play versus an inferior opponent. They didn't come out that great against the Redskins. They actually came out flat off the layoff, but it's easy to come out for games against Carolina. It's easy to come out for games against Arizona. I want to see how they come out as a 13-point favorite, as the best team in the league with a little expectations. I want to see what Doug has. This will say a lot to me. I mean, Peterson has another one that has totally exceeded expectations. He's been phenomenal, but I want to see how he is this team ready to play. It'll be interesting to see. I want them to blow this team out. This team sucks. This should be a field day track meet for the Eagles offense, and the Eagles D should feast against C.J. Beathard. I want an absolute ass whooping. And you know what? I wonder what Michael Lombardi has to say these days about the most unqualified head coach of all time, Doug Peterson. That dude should be roasted at the stake on every talk radio show going. But the problem is, all the talk radio guys roasted Peterson too, and they're just as bad. But anyway, I digress, because Michael Lombardi, my friend, you are an idiot. So we got the 49ers this week, and I want to take it one game at a time. I really do, but it's too hard for me not to look ahead. So you got the 49ers, then you got the Broncos. I hate to say it, but it should be a win. Then you got the bye. Rest up. Go to Dallas for the showdown, November 19th. Wentz Dak, hashtag Wentz Report. Talk about a lit Wentz report. All eyes will be on them. Sunday Night Football, NBC. Winnable. Even if you lose that game, then you got Chicago coming back to Philly. That should be a win. At Seattle, tough game. At LA, tough game. At the Giants, I'm sure the Giants will play the Eagles tough. I mean, they're not going to just let Philly walk in and get a win. Then you come back, you got Christmas, Raiders, New Year's Eve, Cowboys. If you look at that schedule, and even if you're being the most cynical fan, 4 losses at worst, and I think maybe only 3 there. So that's 12-4 11-5 at the absolute worst, and that's even being harsh. So, but like I said, let's take it one game at a time, and let's absolutely bury the wretched 49ers this week. You need to win games you're supposed to win. That's the sign of a great team, and they should get another big W this Sunday at Lincoln Financial Field. Oh, yes, but we do have football tonight, and we've been burying Thursday night football, but we've gotten two really good games in a row, Eagles and Carolina, and then an unbelievable game in Oakland, Kansas City and the Raiders. This week, I don't know, not so much. It's the Dolphins, Matt Moore led at the Ravens. We'll see. It's not the 49ers and the Browns. So even though I hate Baltimore, I'm going to go with Baltimore tonight, -3. They have to get a win at some point. And I really don't like Matt Moore, so that's about it. All right, MouthpieceSportsTalk.com. We are, just like the Philadelphia Eagles, flying on all cylinders. The Wentz Report, fantasy, Sixers, Flyers, Eagles, locks, video reviews. We're doing video reviews now after the game. We got the best content in the city. Kevin Christian with the Flyers, Dunfee with the fantasy football matchups, me with the Wentz Report, the Glockcast, Hudson with the power rankings. You got to get in with MouthpieceSportsTalk.com, at MP Sports Talk on Twitter. Like us on Facebook. Join the revolution. Glockcast. We'll have a full house next week. And hopefully we get my boy Joey Maloney. Shout out to him, who signed a minor league deal with the Baltimore Orioles. Hopefully we get him in the next coming weeks. That'll be an electric Glockcast. But for now, Eagles, they'll be 7-1. We'll talk about it next week. Glockcast.